Hello everybody, this is Gamer Dan, also known as Second Lieutenant Dan within Xbox. Today I thought we'd do a Tank Madness event video, France versus China. By this point, France has been announced as the victor, but I wanted to show how I was able to get 15 points for China in the last hour of the portion of this event. I used the T-34-1. It's a tier 7 medium Chinese tank. I want to do a real quick review on this tank right before we get started. It takes less than a minute. The turret is actually probably the best feature of the armor. You can rely on it to bounce shots from tier 7, some tier 8s, especially tanks that aren't fully upgraded. It is rather reliable at bouncing shots, at least in my experience. Now, I've had this tank for over a year and I don't play it all that often. I'll play it like in little bursts here and there. As you can see, it's not fully upgraded, but that package that I'm using is workable. It's the 85mm upgrade of the tank, and yes, it can produce results. Now let's jump into the reason for this video. Here I have the victory log. I'm going to show you how I got the points, and they're all in order. That's 5 points right there. The episode, or should I say the match before that, is another 5 points. And the match before that, which is the first match I'm going to be showing you, is 5 points right there. So let's hop into the match and see how I was able to get 5 points in this tier 7 match. I know there is one tier 8 on each team, but come on guys, basically this is a tier 7 match. We are spawning on the southwest corner of the map, and we do have 2 lights. They have 2 lights. So first thing I do is straight out of the of the gates is just checking to see where the lights are going, and I don't see anybody going to the spotting area that I typically go to, and it's going to be right up here in this little hill. I usually sprint up here, sit up here for just a little bit and get some spots if there's no other tank going up there, or if there's no other lights that are sprinting up there. So as I can see that there's no lights going there, I will take advantage of that and get up there. The T-34-1 is rather maneuverable and has a pretty decent top speed and pickup speed, so I go up there knowing that there's no artillery, so I could sit here as long as I want. The gun depression of the tank is only 5 degrees, so that has some getting used to, I guess, when you play other tanks with 7, 8, 10 degrees of gun depression. The 5 degrees can be rather frustrating, but since the turret armor on this tank, like I said earlier, can semi-reliably be counted on to bounce shots, I'm not all that afraid to just sit there for a little bit and back up. As I'm backing up, I could probably take a shot and bounce, and you'll see that in the video where I do bounce a few shots. The one thing about this tank though is the gun, long range. It's super hard to hit tanks at long range with this tank, but it can be done, as you saw right there with that Tiger. It seems to play very well mid-range, even close range. It plays well as far as accuracy of the gun, but long range, like on that Tiger, really struggles. You really gotta keep your fingers crossed that the shot's gonna go dead center. Now this T-29 goes out in the open. He probably did it by accident as he was sliding down that slope there, and now that he's out, he's probably wishing he could be in cover. But I am just going to put shot after shot after shot into this tank, and you're gonna see how resilient the T-29 is, the tracks at least. I'm trying to retrack him so I can keep him there and keep hitting him, but it's not working. His tracks keep soaking up the shots. Get a bounce or a ricochet there, I can't tell. Track ate that shot again. He's almost dead, and he's about to get away. He's getting behind cover, and I just can't quite finish him. And I take a shot to my tracks. One of those premium British tanks hit me. But since there's no artillery, I'm not in a big rush to back up. If there's even just one artillery, this spot, you have to play it way more cautiously. T-25-2 I hit in the matlet, I think. Still a pretty close game, and this particular match is probably the slowest of the 3 matches I'm going to show you, just because I come up here and I practically spend the majority of the match, or if not all the match, can't quite remember, up here. And that's because I feel that we have enough coverage on both sides. We have enough tanks covering the right hand side, and we have some tanks covering the left that are holding off those 2 reds. And a lot of times you'll see is 1 or 2 reds will hold like 5 greens back. So I can count that there's 2 spotted on that left side, and we have sufficient amount of tanks there. So I'm just gonna kind of stay here. Hopefully I can catch someone else off guard and get some shots. I think that British tank is just taking random shots to my last known location, and there's a bounce right there. Just gonna work this area here, go up and down, up and down. And like I said, this is kind of the slow part of the map, or the match. Well, the slowest part of the match, should I say. The event is over for France versus China. France did win. They pulled out like an extra 5,000 completions or something like that. And I think it surprised a lot of people how close the France versus China event was. I think a lot of people thought that France was going to win like 10,000 or plus more completions because it's got a lot more tanks in the tech tree and it's just got more popular tanks. But for some reason, China came in pretty close at less than 5,000 or roughly 5,000 completions. Pretty close for a nation that was, a lot of people thought was not going to be much of a competition for France. Here comes the T-29, almost dead. And this guy, I take a shot on him, but this guy just will not die. We can't seem to kill him, and you'll see later on in the replay just how long he can survive. Of course, he's playing to his advantages there, hull down. I'm not even going to take a shot on him because I know my shot is just going to ricochet or bounce. We're still pretty even on the match here, and this other T-29 is being smart. He's pushing the wreckage forward to give him some mobile cover. Very smart. Kudos to you. But after I hit him, I'm surprised that he kind of just stayed there because I could have kept hitting him, but I focused on this IS instead because he's pushing towards our tanks. And if he can get more spots on what's shooting at them, there's another bounce. If he can get more spots on what's shooting at them, that means that my teammates will be more inclined to back up or get behind cover, and they won't be taking shots. And if they're not taking shots, enemies are harder to kill. So I kind of want to take care of this guy first before the T-29, just for the view range factor. Still pretty even. And that's what I was waiting for that IS to come out of cover. Now, if you look at my ammo count, I have not used a single premium or HE round yet. There's a bounce. I have not used any other ammo types other than my standard ammo, and I'm almost finished. So my ammo is going to be switching to premium very soon, just because we have 3 tanks left and can't seem to kill these tanks. Now I'm aiming for the top part of the turret. I'm aiming for the shoulder of the tank. I end up hitting the track for a crit. Now I switch to premium, not on purpose, but just because I ran out of regular ammo, and I can't pen that tank even with premium rounds in the side of the turret. But then again, this gun is not fully upgraded, and certain tanks like that are going to be an issue. A tank like that, you'd probably have to get behind him. But being that I still have a lot of teammates left, I'm not all that worried. He's down, even though it kind of looked like my shot killed him, but it didn't kill him, obviously. And here's that T-29 that's almost dead, last man standing, with just a sliver of health. And there we go. Take the first victory, first out of 3. 1729 damage, 1099 blocked. Oops, that's assisted, sorry. Was that assist or blocked? Yeah, blocked. 1010 damage blocked. So yeah, turret is rather reliable. Here's the second match. It is an assault variant. Not my favorite, but you know, still doable. Another tier 7 match. Remember, these videos are 3 in a row, so I'm not showing you where I'm only top tier and, you know, coming out, you know, in the top 5 of the leaderboard at the end of the results. No, these are just 3 random matches that I just happen to record, and they're all in order. And I was trying to just get something cool to put on one of my videos, and I figured, hey, put a 3 video succession compilation or whatever you want to call it, and that's what we're doing. Like I said, this is a tier 7 match, some tier 6s, and I'm going to sprint as close as I can because we only have 1 light, and I want to get up front. I want to do some spotting. I want to prevent the enemy from gaining too much ground, because in these assault matches, if you don't have enough territory to work with, you just can't push forward. So I need to try to get as much ground as possible so we can get the upper hand. I do get some spots right there. I know there's a tank around the corner. Snapshot him. Oh, this crew that I'm using on this tank only has 6th sense, nothing else. 6th sense and a little plus sign because I'm planning to use this crew on the next tank. So, yep, just 6th sense, all I'm working with. No snapshot, no, you know, smooth ride or anything like that. Take him down relatively easily. A little bit of track damage, no problem. I am spotted. There is 1 artillery, so I gotta be cautious, but I haven't heard or I haven't seen artillery firing on this side. And whoever's on the communications or on the comms has not said that, hey, Artie's firing on our side. Nope, nothing. So as you can see, this second package gun is very workable, very doable on this tank. Speed and maneuverability of the T-34-1 is not that bad. It's pretty good. It feels like a medium. It feels like a semi-robust medium, I guess you could say. And in this position that I'm at right now, I'm hull down. They can only see my turret, or maybe a hair of my hull, but nothing to reliably pin.
They've spotted us.
So I know I can bounce a lot of these shots here. But I'm still a little bit weary about artillery. Now I can see a TD coming up on my left on the minimap.
Loaded and ready.
And it's the Hellcat. The Hellcat recently, if I remember correctly, was recently nerfed. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And lo and behold, there's artillery on our side. Nobody would have guessed it. He almost gets me. I can't seem to hit this Hellcat for anything, but I got him that 3rd time I shot at him. And artillery, that being that they're reloading, has no chance of surviving me. Of course, my teammate steals a kill. No problem. You know, I've only been working the Hellcat and the artillery this whole time. But okay. What's this T-29? For some reason, I always have issues with T-29s in this tank. I always come up against them, but that's okay. This Tiger's gonna help me out. We are winning, and I'm still getting some assist points. Now I'm gonna do what the other T-29 did in the previous match: use a dead tank as mobile cover. I know he wants to shoot me, but then again, my tracks soak up damage, my turret is rather bouncy, plus I have a Tiger helping me out, distracting him, so this guy is not gonna last. Oh, he tracked me, I tracked him. Tiger, come into play, man, come into play. Or artillery, shoot. Yeah, go ahead and get some damage while you're at it. There we go. Now it's time to finish this T-29 and push forward. There are very few enemies left, and thank you for your lower plate, although I didn't really need it. Great shot. Even though I got the kill, that great shot comment or radio command comment was meant for the artillery. Just so you know. Down to 1 tank, so he's got to be camping, and there he is, the T-34-1. Now that's a pretty good tank. I enjoy that premium tank a lot. So we are going to rush him. Looking at the mini-map, I switched to the square one this time. Got a handful of teammates behind me, but they're not yet in proper support positions. So my thought is to wait a little bit, or pull up closer to him, wait until they arrive, and then we can all rush him as a group. And I should stop right around here. Right here would be a good spot to stop and just wait for some backup. But I see that he's losing health and I want to get another shot or two into him, so I decide to just keep going. Big mistake, because I know this T-34-1 has a very quick reload, pretty good pen gun for tier 7, high health pool, good maneuverability, and he is just eating me for breakfast. Now, I track him here, and if I had tracked him here, it'd be the end of the story for him. I could just put shot after shot into him, but he must have had an extra repair kit or has never used his repair kit and used it right there. So unfortunately I died to his hands, and I don't mind actually, because that tank, like I said, is a really good tank. Teammates get him no problem, 10 seconds after I died, and if I had just waited that 10 seconds, we would have, wolf packed him and he wouldn't have survived at all, and I would have been alive. Nonetheless, I cost him a repair kit. And that is the second match in the T-34-1, another 5 points. The last match is a tier 8. They do have some rather tricky tier 8s, the T-34, the Borseg, and the prototype, a T-28 prototype. So they do have some very difficult tier 8 tanks to deal with in certain situations. The Borseg, very little armor, as everyone knows, great gun. The prototype, very good armor, pretty good gun. T-34, great gun, good hold down armor, slow reload. So here we go again. There are no artillery, so I can sit for a while and not be so nervous. Now this tank has difficulty hitting targets far away, so I think that was just a lucky shot for me to hit that little light tank. I kind of want to push up some more, but being that there's so many reds spotted, might as well just sit here and do some damage. I track him, which is excellent, because now I can put shots into him. Bounce. He hits my tracks and damages me, but he's out of the game. There's a Fury. Soft armor, so I know I could punch through that with my not upgraded gun. And there's the Borsig. That is the main threat for me. If he's got the short barrel, he can, if he shoots me, he can easily knock off 750 hit points. Easy. Cripple me for the rest of the match. If he's got the long barrel, he can do 550, maybe 600 hit points. Easy. Which would not cripple me, but it would make me a one-shot for them. So, have to play kind of cautiously here. I'm going to just poke up, take some shots, pull back when I'm spotted. Poke up, take some shots, pull back when I'm spotted. And I'll use this tank prop here as cover. AR-44. For some reason, I have issues penning these tanks with this tank. I don't know if it's because the tank is weirdly angled or what, but for some reason I can struggle penning those tanks. I have had many other matches playing the T-34-1 where, I don't know, it's just luck or on the enemy's part where I can't pen. But I'm very concerned about that Borsig. He needs to stay behind that rock and not point his gun at me. So if we can keep the pressure on him, I keep highlighting him to, for the rest of the team to focus on him, just because if the Borsig is receiving shots, whether they're hitting him or not, they're keeping him behind cover. If he pokes out and, two people shoot at him and they both miss or whatever, he's going to pull back because he knows that people are shooting at him. And he knows that he doesn't have very good armor. So you don't always have to hit an enemy, you just gotta distract them. That can be a very valid tactic. But still work on this AR-44. Like I said, my crew does have 6th sense, and that's all it has. So I am heavily reliant on that skill at the moment, and trying to take out this ARL with this little bush that's providing some camo. And here I know that's a ricochet right there. I mean, his angle is way too high. Dodge another shot there, so just wait for my sixth sense to disengage, and we are winning this match no problem. Spotted, but I'm gonna risk it, keeping my fingers crossed that the Borsig is behind cover. Okay, spotted again, but I have a lot of health and there's very few enemies left, so I'm gonna risk it. This tiger, I mean, he's got a good position there, and I guess he wants to give me a better position. That's not the way you side scrape tiger, but anyway. One TD left, and I see him on the minimap on the other side, so no fear. I can just go ahead and advance if I want to, because I know that high alpha tank destroyer is not gonna ruin my day. So we're gonna go over to this T-34. Black Prince over there, almost full health, so he's been camping. Of course, there are no bases. This is a team destruction, so there's not really anybody that can camp. But he spawned. I mean, he's still at his spawn, so I guess yeah, he is camping. Black Prince is another tank that I can sometimes struggle with, depending on this particular tank. But he's down. I'm gonna go up to the T-34. And he's a one-shot easy. But I'm not gonna go up with this tank here and get him from the front. No way. I'm gonna go around to the rear and get him. And almost. If I had been 1 second sooner, I would have got the kill. But that's okay. Last tank is the most dangerous tank in this match, in my opinion. I hit some kind of debris or rubble or something, and then I get the kill. So by me losing this kill on this heavy here, I got it back with the Borsig. Oh, stay tuned for some bonus features. Roughly 3 minutes of bonus features here at the end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and or subscribe. This video was pretty much just dedicated to how I got 15 points within 30 minutes, right towards the end of the operation. Goodbye.